tie this small emerger pattern, the hook I'm using is a size 18. Now this is a ultimate dry fly hook, barbless hook. In this case it's by Lt.Olive. Thread I'm going to be using is the Lt.Olive by Uni in 8.0. First thing I'm going to do is just run my wax through the thread to get it started. Then you can run your fingers through and take away the excess. Now when you start about a head length away from the eye, I'm going to work my way down, move the waist piece, get to the point just before it goes round the bend, tying the tail there. Now the tail fibres I'm going to be using, this is barred Woodduck. Now you can use many fibres, it's up to yourself, Cul-de-Canard or just cork fibres or whatever you like. Now I like the barred Woodducks, it makes for a great tail. A good half a dozen fibres, just bring them 90 degrees or so from the stem and then tear them off. Now it's quite a short tail, but it's like body length, which is just slightly more than halfway up the shank length. You tie over the back, come over, and then hold the tail fibres, come underneath and pull towards the eye with the thread. And this will slightly open these fibres out, give it more a nymph look. It locks in the fibres. It's a turn on top, trim it a body length, which is there. I've got some blue winged olive or dyed blue winged olive turkey biot for the body. Now the biots you'll find, there's a fine hair on one end. Now in this case it's in the top. Now you'll see it because it's a lot darker, it's got a dark edge. Now when you catch this in by the tip, make sure there's wax on the thread so there's plenty of grip there. And then we take the thread up the body to this point, just there. Now to protect the turkey biot I'm going to use some super glue. I'm just going to use, this is the Ft.Olive super glue which comes with a brush. I like coating onto the thread turns. Now as you wind up you want this fine fibre, the hair towards the back. The leading edge is the edge without the fibre, and then we just form a nice body. You can see that shape that you get. It gives you a kind of fine herald. Great nymph body, great dry fly body as well. So now you get to this point, you can go across the thread, 3 or 4 turns in, and then trim away the waist. And there we are, you can see the body that you get. Now what we do is again wax my thread, slightly tidy up this area, and then continue with the thread up to the eye, ready for tying in some CDC. Now I'm going to use 2 small CDC feathers for this size of fly. These are natural CDC feathers. Now what I'm going to do is just lay one on top of the other. There's a natural curve in these, and you can see how it's curving up. Now I want the curve to come up and away from the eye of the hook. And the thing what I do is hold the ends of the feathers and draw these fibres. Draw them in. Now this is the kind of like a shuttlecock style sort of wing I'm going to tie in here. The length, I want it round about the length of the shank, tied forward. And then 2 or 3 turns secure it. But at the same time what I'm going to do is just make sure it's sitting where I want. Just get the length. That's fine. Get a wee bit of wax on my thread and then carry on down to the body. Now I'm going to form the thorax with some dubbing. Check where we are, right up against the body so it's tidy, that's fine. Now the dubbing I'm using, this is a hare's mask dubbing which I've cut away the hair, then I've blended in some SLF, just a tiny bit, just in olive, just to get a bit of shine and colour. Now you don't need a lot. Lightly dub it onto your threads, slide it up. Now if you blend it, I use a small grinder to blend the fibre on my thorax. And now as you get towards tips of the CDC, then we want to bring this over to form like a bubble. Now there's a bubble there, we get the bubble size that we want, which is not too big. Just pinch and hold them and then come down with a pinching loop. 2 or 3 turns. Now what I'm going to do here is Put some super glue on my thread. Go in with a couple more turns. Lift CDC, tips of the CDC in the waist. Bring the thread to the front, locking in this. This will hold it. And then come straight in. Wet finish. And trim away your thread. Do that all in once, meaning keep going, don't stop. Now there's the tips of the CDC there. The waist ends is here, so what I'm going to do is, not going to trim them right in at the bottom, I'm going to trim it at an angle so that it blends into the wing and then comes part of the wing. Just trim it as a thing there. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is get my dubbing needle. There's the bubble. Encourage to open the bubble up with the dubbing needle. Just roll it round. And what this I say is it traps the bubble and it allows you to sort of basically pull the fly, and because of the trap bubble the fly will pop back up. Allows you to basically drown your leader. Where I was fishing, this fly was in a very slack piece of water, and casting the fly well above the trout it was rising, pulling it to the, maybe, obviously when I pull it it's going to be in line with the fish that's rising, but at that point it actually drowns or pulls the leader below the surface. And the bubble being there of the CDC helps to lift it. The other thing it can do as well, if you feel the fish are more on the emerger than having this over the front is stopping the fish taking the fly, then we can always trim this back and the fly will keep working. It covers a lot of sort of areas of where the fish is actually feeding, and that's why it makes it a good fly. It's a good all-round emerger type fly, and both rivers and lochs you'll catch with this fly. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that's basically it.